bring that here, bring that action into grand finals, started things off here with the run back against Fiend and Use. And
Brawlhalla? They truly have no fear. And the reason they have no fear is because they're playing two bald legends. That is how you have to live life as a bald man in this world. You cannot live with fear, or this world dominated by the hairs will rip you up, it will chew you up, and it will spit you out. We'll see if they can keep this pressure up in this set here. Power Ranger and Wess are coming from the elimination bracket, which means they have to win 2 best-of-5 sets against Fiend and Use. Meanwhile, Fiend and Use with the winners bracket. Blessing only have to win 1. Somehow, Fiend did not punish that charged held D-Sig from Wess, and that blows me away.
Praise unto the words of the one and only Sparkalicious himself. But I must say, Fiend does have a good, actually a great hairstyle, and that's why he is not going to be succeeding. As you said, the double up here from the Kings themselves, Power Ranger and Wess with the double team off of the Dulcims. And it's still working. However, that side air is going to even get close to evening things back up pretty quick.
Wess, man, he's still going in. There are 2 members on the opposing team while his friend is respawning, and he's like, let's go, let's get it. Pedal to the metal, my foot is on the gas, all gas, no brakes.
Oh my goodness, what a last-second evasion right there. The range coverage from Fiend has been so on target. We mentioned it back in Winners. He has such a high signature accuracy that you need to be fearful of any time that he goes for one. However, his guitars have been on point too. As he goes back in for the dare, he knew that Power Rangers was going to come and try and help him. He almost actually got him hit, which would have sent him right over onto Use. But he does get caught in center as they continue this lead.
Wess swapping over onto the gauntlets off the weapon spot that was in the middle of the stage. Fiend without a weapon. He's able to grab that spear pretty quickly. Doesn't take too much damage in the process, but he is the only one on his final stock. Neutral Sig comes out. No major punish. He's able to jump away before any hit comes out. Fiend does get punished. Maybe if he starts throwing out those signatures on this map, it's a little bit smaller, so his opponents might already be in a good position to end up punishing it.
That's a good point, because before they were going unchecked, but now, oh, wait a minute, this is a big play. Fiend is probably not going to make this one back. He stole the one, an amazing reversal from Fiend.
No way. No, that's a Queen 9 move. No one else is going to be doing that. Only people who aggressively play Queen 9 as a legend know to hit the turnaround GC down signature because it pops you back and can touch your back against the wall. Fiend ends up getting knocked out, but man, what a maneuver from Fiend to not only throw out a hitbox, but also touch the wall.
And Use trying to do his best to answer back for what was an incredible play from Fiend. Currently looking at what the main target would be Power Ranger, but good luck with that, because Power Ranger, like we said before, impossible to knock out sometimes. However, did send them back off stage, gets hit. That should end out first one, as Power Ranger and Wess answer back with a game on the board.
Bald. Bald. Come on, chat. Bald. I better see chat filling up with balds right now. Wess and Power Ranger coming in with this double Dawson pick. Seems like they are tearing apart Fiend and Use, at least in game 1.
And once again, I'm taking a look over to that graph, and this, we were talking about this with Demon Island, and I'm seeing a very long straight line on Wess on last stock. Even prior to everything that happened. But even before that, there was a lot of miniature points where it was minimized damage between both of those teams. But it was definitely Wess with that 551 kind of tearing up there.
Chat's filling up with balls. Let's go.
I see bald.
Let's go. We love to see it. Oh, neutral signature coming out from Wess.
Zabaldo coming through, sneaking his way onto the left. Or I might have to start cheering it myself soon. While Wess sneaking through, and look, the main target of focus, who was a huge issue in Winners Finals, definitely was Fiend. They have been solving that so far, Sparky.
The fact that they're going back to this map is an interesting choice for the blue team, because I feel like on this map, that high defense, it's not nullified, but it's definitely not as valuable as it is on so many of the other stages. I'd be thinking that they want a big stage, the Demon Islands, the Fortress of Lions.
I think you're very correct, because Fiend is already on his last stock, and we just passed 7-minute mark. I mean, stocks are going to fly here no matter what, but the fact that you are falling with like this defense is not good. You need to solve that as quickly as possible. As Fiend already at Sweat Beads, does find a reversal sider though, and he's going to get Wess for that. Wess is not going to be able to get the wall touch. That was a great reversal that he got off stage.
This is so wild. because there is a lot of confidence in this game. They have the swag on their side. They are taking out Use and Fiend so far. That's continuing into Game 2 when they're already up 1-0. And if we look at winners finals, it was 3-1 in favor of Fiend and Use.
Yeah, and it looked solid at that, too. They saw this team very well. But recovery is not going to be enough to send them packing off the top. Fiend is doing his best to hold on to this stock, but you're a straight hit territory away from falling. So Use has got to do his best to help keep them off of Fiend.
Oh, big side air. Unfortunately for Power Ranger, he didn't have any major move that can KO off the top. If he hits an Axe Nair there, not going to KO, doesn't have a lot of active force on it. If he goes for the recovery, which is a KO move, wasn't even close for that to hit. So that's why you saw him go for that side air, even though he was so close to the top. That is going to put Use on final stock. Fiend alone for just a moment. We're seeing Use come back in. Are they able to close out this stock before Use gets back? No. Going to hit the recovery. Send Power Ranger at least flying, splitting up the red team just a little bit.
Fiend's defense has been phenomenal so far as they do find it. Wait a minute, this is all of a sudden more doable. Side air still does not connect. Neutralize is going to send them off, but it's not going to be enough to get the knockout, and they're getting some damage on, but they still cannot get rid of Fiend.
They're just not finding the KO moves that they need. Like, they'll hit a down air, but it'll be on the main stage. Side air from the middle is going to do it. That side air from Wess is also going to send Use over. D-Sig comes out from Power Ranger. Little bit of punishment there. They do need to be careful here. They have Use in the orange. Power Ranger, he's going out there, does the spot dodge, knows he can't hit any move over there, so he just backs up. Great follow-up, neutral light into the side sig from Wess, and that is going to be them now going up 2-0 over Fiend and Use on the precipice of a bracket reset.
Perfect positioning right there on Wess and Power Ranger to go ahead and shut that down, but that was not as dominant as the first one. Mostly, Fiend bringing it back together after a while, and Use, they did their best to try and find that knockout on Wess, but Wess and Power Ranger have gotten that clutch factor back, I think, that we didn't see before. And once again, surprising B onto us, they're running it right back to the same stage.
It's definitely a mystifying choice for them to continue to do this. Maybe they're just waiting for this set to run out. Oh, that was so close. The high defense of Queen Nai somehow keeping Fiend in this one instead of losing that first stock. That side stick hitting an orange all the way over there. Almost was that incredibly early KO.
That's where that Queen Nai pick all tournament has come into play, whereas Hattori would probably have exited the building, but every single one of them currently in the red, but it's been Power Ranger and Wess who have struck first so far each time. The team combo lineups have been working. Neutralize, setting them off. That's a big whip punish. That's two whip punishes right there from Fiend.
That's the punish we needed to see from Fiend that we didn't earlier. He was confident. His timing was good. He chose the right option to get the KO. Incredible work from Fiend on that one, and they're in the lead. Even after Fiend falls, still in the lead.
Wess, got him dipping. He knew he was going to bounce back off the wall right there, catching him at that ground pound. Great patience, too, being right next to Axe recovery without budging, while you saw Power Rangers just hovered over on the left side of the stage saying, you got it. Finish your food. You got it. I know you can get rid of him.
Axe neutral lights coming out. The double axes from Power Ranger and Wess at the same time. Oh, the bottom side of that just barely going over the corner. Fiend even throws out another one. See, there you go. The neutral air, even that high, is not going to take out. Doesn't have a lot of variable force on it. That's why it's not a KO move.
It's already hot enough back here with the lighting and everything, and I'm getting sweaty, stressed from how crazy Power Ranger has been making attempts at finding these knockouts off the top. Is he going to go after him with the side air? It won't be enough. Weapon toss forces him to go high, and Fiend gets in there to help Use get back.
I'm telling you, it's the lights, it's the gameplay, it's all these yoga fires and all of these yoga flames coming out. There it is! Perfect timing!
Amazingly called perfectly by Sparkalicious himself. Bald. Bald.
The bald agenda is activating. Balds everywhere. Rise up.
2 stocks apiece currently on the red team. That has now vacated at least one for Wess. Power Ranger doing his best to hover on the side. Weapon toss comes through, almost bouncing him into that ground pound. He's not going to find it, but now you got to be very careful as he goes in with that dare to try and back them off himself. No lineups. Neutralize sets them apart, but he is still boxing right between them with no fear.
That is just the story of this red team. They're not afraid of getting hit with that confidence behind them. It almost seems like, that throws off the blue team, but they're not able to finish that one up. Taking out Wess there would have been huge, but that's, again, that shows you right there how difficult it is to knock someone out that early. Even though they hit all those moves, even though they have the high KO potential on their side, it still wasn't enough.
That was hitting the nitrous at the end of the race, trying to finish it out at the last second. They almost ran straight through Wess at the top, but like you said, hard to find that knockout. Fiend now, however, gets his first shot at finding a 2v1, just dodging underneath that. You already know that's scary enough at the ledge. He sneaks through. Recovery's going to end that, though, as they get the reset, and we move into a fresh version where both of them are on the elimination side of bracket.
That's the beginning of Too Fast, Too Furious, when they're racing at the end, and one of the racers ends up hitting the NOS a little bit too early. He has the smile on his face. He's like, yes, I got this one. I got Brian. He's out of here. No, Brian, with the patience, lets him run that out. Boom, NOS activated, flies past him, wins the race.
Goes right over the bridge, sticks the landing, kind of. That skyline got a little bit messed up. It's a pretty sad time. But that was still incredibly well done by Power Ranger and Wess, making this reset happen, refusing to, for once again, not be fearful of anything. We already see that they are refusing to go back to Small Braven this time. We're going to switch things up here. We're going to take a trip over to Miami, which actually, as a matter of fact, I think that movie was based out of Florida, and we're gonna get
it's
the first
also
game
based on a true story. It is actually a documentary.
3, 2,
you got it.
1,
Yep.
I'm not even gonna challenge that. I believe you. Bald. So
Finally, the balds have a leg up in this world. I love that it's Wess and Power Ranger representing the bald community here. They're honorary balds. Now, I know all you people in chat are like, being bald is silly, hee hee ha ha. The hairline will come for you one day. My young viewers out there, it will come for you all. You are not immune.
Well, all right. Man, I forgot we talked about. I don't know what to talk about anymore. All right, here on Miami Dome with the reset. Like, what was it? Wow, okay, never mind. I was going to say, what was it that made them work so well to get that dub in the first set? But honestly, once again, just from watching him go off stage like that with no fear whatsoever, it is once again that no fear gameplay. They actually have refused to be conditioned into any type of fear in center by the blue team at all already.
It is still really scary, though, because we see Wess and Power Ranger, like, they had the damage lead so far in this game. Use picking up the double D-Light there to get the full team wipe on the red team. This is what's really scary about the reset happening, even though Fiend and Use were the ones who got reset on. It's like that activation for Fiend, and because he came into this from the winner's side of the bracket, like, this is essentially him going down into the elimination bracket like we've seen him do in the past, and then come back up and all but win the tournament, sometimes winning the tournament as well. So now we have that, like, Fiend activation, and this is when Wess and Power Ranger should be the most scared. I know they're playing without fear, but I think in the back of their minds there's a little bit of fear.
Well, definitely playing as such a neutralize. We'll send them packing at least on that one. It took a long time to get it, though. And like you're saying, it's a clean slate here with the reset. No matter which way you look at it, you did lose 3 in a row, but you now have a fresh opportunity to try and get some dubs in your favor. That Nair sets him apart, but he was so focused on Power Rangers that he wasn't there to save Use from Wess.
Wess's ground pounds have been incredible on the edge as a way to finish up these stocks. Look at the spacing to get away from the side sing of Fiend and then continue the string, putting out huge damage, even getting the turnaround.
He was like hovering off the back of the truck like, help me, help, and they just kept hitting the gas, driving away from him, letting him not get down, and they just ran through him with a whole 18-wheeler themselves as they answer right back.
Fiend and Use, their KO potential is so scary. Even that one was only 2 hits, but he picked up both members for both of those hits.
Amazing job so far. Definitely a big story told. Double D-Light side air is going to send him apart. Now lets him get an attempt, and he turned his focus instantly, making it look like he was looking at Power Ranger, but the reverse hit of Axe Recovery sends him off pretty far. He does box his way back on with that Nair, though.
He did that, I think, to not only give himself the chase dodge possibility, but also to move his teammate away from the opponent very quickly, so you don't knock both of them out. If you throw that out there, you're putting a little bit of damage onto your teammate, but very little variable force. You're going to get your teammate just out of the way, saying, get out of here. That way, there's not 2 victims. There's only the possibility of 1.
What an incredible adjustment right there. At the very end, they saw the attempt at the overextension to try and catch that Axe Recovery, but this right here, that team combo, when they had the chance to do it, they did not get that at all. Pre-reset. They could not get a single team combo to work, and that definitely a big part of it seeming to be in favor of getting away, and they're going to go back. They're seriously going to go back to Small Brawlhaven here for game number 2.
It was Power Ranger and Wess's chance to ban down. Of course, they left Brawlhalla open. They won all of the games on Brawlhalla, and this is Fiend and Use choosing to go back to Brawlhalla. They're playing without fear.
I have questions. Yeah, maybe that. It's like, all right, look, you think you can scare us? Not at all. Hopefully it works out for you. Because the way that worked last time, not so much with that dominant victory. But they definitely looked much better, at least in that first game. Maybe there's something we don't know as they go into game number 2.
This could be off of the elimination activation that turns Fiend into just a completely different animal than we saw previously, though he is taking quite a bit of damage this game, the most damage out of everybody so far. Ooh, that ends up hitting Wess, but it doesn't put him in too bad of a spot. Fiend sent over, flying to the left side. Use throws out the neutral signature. Fiend actually can't make it back off of that. I'm a little bit surprised. I feel like we haven't really seen Fiend not have enough to get back. I feel
he
like
did
most
everything
of the time
he could off of the guitar movement that he could get out of that too. That just missed the bottom of that. Maybe that's a big part. Maybe that's part of why they don't want to go to something like Demon. They don't want to deal with the signature pressure from Dulcims on that small side blast zone, or excuse me, the small wall. That's the only thing I can think of as to why we're going here instead of something like Demon Island.
Seen Fiend over on the edge. It's now double gauntlets for the Dulcim team. That neutral air didn't quite send far enough for Power Ranger to be in the right spot to immediately follow up off of it. We have double gauntlets and double spear now. Side air. Okay, Fiend is immediately on top of Wess, hits the side air, takes him out, puts him on his second stock.
And they're just waiting for, trying to wait for Power Ranger to budge first. They didn't want to rush over there when he's so low and mess up something. But Power Ranger is going to mess him up off stage. Use not choosing the correct route to get back on as they get him already down to his last stock.
Oh, the red team wasn't able to put out hardly any damage on Fiend whatsoever. That would have been a huge moment for them to get the stock because he was pretty damaged as Use was spawning back in. But Fiend was able to just avoid the damage. Throws out the side signature. Shoot, that hit Wess in the yellow, and that almost put him off screen. That is how much strength this legend has. Power Ranger's going to fall, but so is Fiend. Now Wess is the one that seems to be different than everybody else here, but he's starting to take that damage on his second stock while everybody else is on final.
Like you said, Wess was hanging out momentarily comfortable, but takes a ground pound in exchange. What a great answer right there from Use to get themselves all back to one apiece. This, for a second, I thought this was looking very similar to that pre-reset. Now all of a sudden it's not looking as bad, but they are getting juggled on. A little bit of misspacing there though for Wess that could have been really bad.
And we're looking at these double axes on this red team. The damage potential per hit is so high. The KO potential is also extremely high. Oh, doesn't quite have the timing or the reach to find that side signature. The second one does get punished. A little bit of team damage coming out there from Wess. A little bit of team damage back from Power Ranger. They take out Use. Fiend in the 1v2, but this is a situation that he's found himself in so many times, but this one he will not be victorious in. We're going to head into game 3, tied 1-1.
I think a big thing that happened at the end there, not only from Fiend, but from Use, is they played much more grounded at the end against the double axe. It did not work. They kept trying to find combo starters, anything to not go in the air and take exchanges off of axe there, off of axe there, and they got played around very well by that because they realized, oh, okay, you keep trying to walk up to us. What if we just outrange you? What are you going to do about that? You keep walking directly at us in a linear approach, and we have punished you every single time for it as they even up the set count.
And they're finally also feeling the punishment of Brawlhalla because that time, because Fiend and Use ended up losing that game, it was their turn to get the first bans. What was the first thing they banned? It was Brawlhalla. They were like, okay, you're not going to beat me 5 times on Brawlhalla. No, sir. It will be limited to 4.
What do you even reach with that? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like 5 times in, what even is that at that point?
At that point, that's a habit. That's something you just need to get away from.
That's pride that you're trying to solve by proving that you can take someone out there, and that was not it. But we're going to switch over here, of course. More room to work with, the moving platform, so you have the opportunity to have a couple of different escape options. And I think the biggest thing is just survivability once again coming in. You have plenty of knockout potential as it happens instantly on cue. Reviews taking the first knock off of Wess.
Power Ranger's just like, oh, my teammate was knocked out. It's time for me to go in. Every brain cell in my body is telling me to not go in, but my heart is telling me to go in. So yes, sir, I am going in Rich Homie Quan style.
Power Ranger has like protagonist armor sometimes, I swear. He's like, look, no, this is my story to be told as he rushes forward. But you don't get to be the dominant force at #1 seed like this without having that level of confidence, Marky.
We're seeing the gauntlets and the axe coming out from this Rayman team. Fiend now coming out with some solid Qatar play here, adding up a lot of damage. His ground game is stellar. Again, another neutral light into the recovery. They're adding up so much damage so quickly. They have Power Ranger and Wess in the red. Gets through that side signature. It seems like those side signatures from Fiend's Spear starting to lose a lot of the potency they previously had. As Wess falls there, he tried to dare into the wall to get that jump reset, but he didn't quite make it.
I'm glad you pointed it out. It seems like they've given it a lot of respect, and they figured out the habits of where he likes to pull the trigger. And if you're taking that away, that was a lot of what Fiend used as space coverage between these two. That is a free punish right there, but Power Ranger currently hovering all over Hughes. Fiend taking a little bit too long to go help him out. Recovery gets through at least, and Hughes gets to live a little bit longer.
Hughes going to completely disengage from that edge guard Wess was attempting. Oh, you saw Wess go for the opposite direction. Reed side light to the right, GC side light to the left. Insig coming out from Hughes. You see on the top, he's dominating. That means he's picked up 3 KOs on this second stock. Wess in the 1v2. He's staring at 3 stocks, now 2. This is going to be very difficult. Yeah, he got the 2 stocks. That's great. They were both very much in the red. We have a completely different story as they're spawning back in, completely fresh. They both have weapons as well.
It's already been shown, too, that they could get these team combo lineups. They already have a few clips that are named that will be looked back, but Wess's defense. He's boxing between, getting away from as quick as he can, does get clipped, but he's minimizing the damage so far.
I swear, like everyone else in this game, if they were playing right now, they would be on the wall. They would be camping on that wall, and they would not be in the middle of these 2 players. But somehow Wess's like neutral is extending up to like that very left edge of the main platform, and then now he's pushing towards the center, but he's going to get punished for it. D-Light side air coming out from Fiend. We are now looking at 2-1 in favor of Fiend and Hughes as we head into Game 4.
I think I saw that correctly, too. 4 knockouts were in favor of 1 of the 2 Dhalsims, none on the other side. So they had a decent amount of damage, but it wasn't enough to seal the deal, I think, for Power Ranger, if I remember correctly, who's the one who didn't have them. So you're going to have to solve that going into this next game, which currently looking pretty solid, of course, for them. Still, they are up in the set count, but that was a good answer back for Fiend and Hughes.
What's going on, man?
Okay, all right.
Who is in charge of banning?
All right, so 2 to 1 set count here in the reset, and the stage that has been won on, uncontested so far, goes the Power Ranger and Hughes here in what could be the final game potentially for this set, as Power Ranger attempts to end Fiend for going for that attempt all the way up at the skies.
Now, like, they just banned this. Like, why are we here? Like, Power Ranger and Wess left this open. Of course, that makes sense for them to do that. And then Fiend and Hughes are like, okay, we got this time, brother. We got a handle on it. That will not happen again. Nice ground pound, but unfortunately, Fiend was a little bit to the left, so it ended up sending to the right instead of that nearest blast zone, which is, of course, on the left. They get the first knockout onto Hughes.
Well, I mean, one thing that at least works is that if you do drop this, you do still have 1 more game, and the stage is going to be in your favor to pick. Hopefully you don't pick this stage again on Game 5. But we'll see if that happens. If they go, we just pass off the mics to Toast in the production room.
No, you can solo cast this one. You got it. You're talented. You have more time with a mic under your belt than I do. So yeah, you're good on that one.
No, man. Look, this is like you said. This is bald supremacy right now. You can't walk away from this.
That's true. I can't. I got to see this one through.
Well, right now,
out there.
2 stocks apiece on everyone at the moment. I mean, it's looking better, at least here at the start, but we've said that quite a few times, and then, well, yeah, that happens.
Dude, don't stop going to this map.
What damage were you at? You were barely at orange.
Like, it's the end of this, and Hughes and Fiend are like, oh no, we lost this map again, and it's like, my brother in Cross, you chose the map, you made the sandwich. Like, that's how you find yourself in this situation. What are we doing?
Well, they did find a knockout on the Power Ranger. Can they find one here on the West? Side air, it's going to be enough. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Maybe they've been making a real big attempt to prove us wrong for a while, and it looks like it might finally happen here. As Power Ranger and Wess are suffering on their last stocks, they do have a chance to try and sneak one away from Hughes so they can force a 2v1, and Fiend is taking some damage now.
Hughes is starting to take a little bit as well. I would say between the 1v1 of Power Ranger and Hughes, it would be in the favor of Power Ranger. They take Hughes out. Fiend was doing a pretty good job. Like, his survivability is strong. He does fall there, but he was surviving in this game. Unfortunately, that meant that Power Ranger was just 1v1ing Use, and then here, 5th time is most likely not the charm.
I must look at the graph for Use's stocks.
Okay, maybe 5th time is the charm.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Fiend has Wess on the ledge. He's not going to get the neutral lights.
I was trolling. Okay, Wess in the 1v1 against Fiend. The victory here keeps them alive, pushes this one into a game 5. The victory for Fiend and Use here means they take the tournament, gold medal, they're Autumn champions.
They're sitting on the potential of it right now. That neutral light gonna miss, goes for the reverse of the recovery on the way back up. Exclamation points come out, Sparky. Like this, you can't take a single hit right now. But if Fiend could find an edge guard, he almost gets him on the side.
Wess keeps going for those, like, you walk off stage and then you turn around, and Wess is going to make sure this one goes to the game 5. 5th time was not the charm. If they go back, I'm serious. I'm going to lose it on the microphone.
Also, why? That's like the 4th one of those that missed this game alone. Not even on the other stages. He kept going for that, and he got punished for it every time. They gave up the side air, and now, well, it's banned. It's banned.
Oh, thank you.
Which means we're most likely going to Miami Dome.
Unless they back out and redo it and choose
like,
small
Brawlhaven. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to click small Brawlhaven. So we got either Small Fortress Alliance, Small Enigma, or Miami Dome. I didn't realize that Fortress Alliance was still open for a second. So we are going to go to Fortress Alliance. It worked before. Will it work again? Game number 5 here in the reset, Sparky. We have the potential of Fiend and Use getting a huge dub here in Autumn's, leading into BCX, or will it be the dominant forces Power Ranger and Wess once again claiming another title?
Based on everything I've seen, Wess and Power Ranger should be winning this one. If they don't, it is because of bald oppression. I'll just leave it at that. How am I supposed to follow up after that? You can't
put me in this position, man. Well, right now, we're looking at what could be Fiend and Use potentially getting that big dub here, making Sparky's night upsetting. But that one, at least, hey, congratulations, you're still alive after that recovery because the stage a little bit bigger as Use almost already got knocked out off the top.
Oh, Yoga Flame coming out over the corner. There's the side air from Power Ranger. Ooh, Fiend! You saw that recovery coming out from Wess. He was looking for the KO.
I'm putting a count up, by the way, for every single one of these times Use hasn't been knocked out off the top where he would have been before. I'm going to add to that. That's 3.
Okay.
That's 3 knockouts that they did not lose to.
Write that down, chat.
Okay, so 1 on the other side. See, survivability has gotten much better here for all parties involved, and Use and Fiend still holding on what could have been a 2-stock lead. Dare comes through. Power Ranger is going to get back, but the double coverage from Fiend with that ground pound, knowing he would attempt to save.
Nice KO from Fiend coming out, picking up both. But before that, when they both got sent to the left side, I love how the red team completely split up. They somehow both knew which one was going to go high and which one was going to go low, so they weren't in danger. But then it ended up happening, and in came that ground pound from Fiend.
By the way, we're up to 5 count.
Write that down, chat.
5 counts of stocks that would have been lost on Small Brawlhaven so far for the blue team. Still holding on to here and on their first ones. And that one barely almost not taking out. That is going to get him set packing. The minimization on the red team, though, mattered so much as they only took a little bit of damage after they got knocked out.
Blue team definitely in the lead. There is a weapon spawn. It's going to come out for Use. Fiend now has his spear as well. Oh, man, Power Ranger was adding up some damage very quickly on a Fiend, who's definitely in the yellow. Okay, nice weapon toss to sort of break up that dare onslaught that Use was putting onto Power Ranger. But unfortunately for Wess, he's at the weapon disadvantage. Power Ranger is taking this moment to just go bananas on the axe and even takes out Fiend high on the right side.
Okay, that one wouldn't have mattered where you were. That one was going away.
You were done.
Power Ranger sealing his fate on the right, and that actually mattered so much because Fiend and Use had such a good start, and then he answered back with a dominant stock like that. Even though they're in the red, I fear for Fiend and Use currently.
I don't know. I'm looking at that damage, and I'm also scared for Power Ranger and Wess. We've seen Use continue his survivability up on that second stock. Power Ranger and Wess very much in danger of being taken out, but Use is going to fall before either of them. The desync from the right side, sending to the left, even with the bounce, takes out Power Ranger. Wess doing his best to survive. You see him immediately move to the left side of the stage where his teammate is for coverage.
And Wess not falling either to that recovery off to the top. The second one, we'll find it though. Everybody on last stock here. Game number 5 in the reset to try and take Autumn championships.
please do this for the Balds. They need this one. We need this dub right now. This Bald dub would be huge.
As a fan of Fiend, it's hard for me to go along with this at the moment, but right now it is also incredibly close between all parties involved. Blue team in the red. Power Ranger is going to be set deep off stage. That's a free double up, and they close. No, it doesn't close it out on the Wess.
Oh my gosh, this game is so close.
6.
Oh, Fiend was so close to being taken out. Power Ranger. Wess has to do this for the Balds. It's game 5, ladies and gentlemen.
He's in
That's
sweatbeats.
one. He gets back. Is he going to eat a side signature? Oh, Wess knew that one was coming.
Oh my goodness, D-Light's gonna miss. Fiend gets him on the reversal, but does not get the closeout. Wess is gonna sneak his way back on. Fiend is looking for him. Weapon gets it grabbed, and he does not get a hit.
Oh, the side air. Not enough to KO the weapon toss. Wess should be able to get the next weapon spawn. He does. It's gauntlets. That was so close. The bounce off the stage. Not going to be enough.
Will not be enough to take him out. Wess trying to sneak his way on. One recovery does it here over Fiend. He goes and he gets him. He punishes him, and Fiend takes it out over Power Ranger and Wess. They shut it down, and your autumn championships for South America go to Fiend and Use.
Fiend did 700 damage almost, dude. He did 696.
You want to know why? You want to know why?
Because he has hair.
No.
It's not fair.
No.
Because of the ball debuff.
I kept the count going, by the way. They were up to 8 stocks that normally on Small Brawlhaven would have been a knockout.
Yeah.
They were able to stay alive longer, so much longer here. Even after that really amazing play that Power Ranger had, that was frames off, by the way, frames. If he was just a little bit further back, he might have caught Fiend in that, and Fiend seals the deal.
Send me the replay of that one, Pranav, because I want to see how close the that side sig was to hitting. Thank you. Pranav was the one who sent me the replay that I asked for last time, so that's my goat. I appreciate that. Fiend and Use, man, coming out on top. That's right there. It's like me putting them in third place. Like I wasn't confident in.